We've got breaking news out of Wimbledon where Jannik Sinner has won his very first championship at the All England Club. He took down Carlos Alcaraz in 4 sets, getting his revenge after blowing a 2-set lead in the French Open final. The victory also snaps a 6-match losing streak for Sinner against Alcaraz. This is Sinner's 4th career Grand Slam title and 2nd of the year after winning the Australian Open in January. The world's #1 player will go for his 3rd Grand Slam victory of the year next month at the U.S. Open in Queens. For much more on this, let's go ahead and welcome in our own CC Bellis for more. CC, great to see you. How did Sinner snap his losing streak against Alcaraz to win his first Wimbledon title?
Yeah, I mean, definitely some incredible tennis today. I think, just setting the scene, these two guys have been so dominant over the last few years. They've won now the last 7 Grand Slams. So we're really starting to, see the next generation of, that kind of Rafa Nadal, Roger Federer rivalry that, we were going to miss so much now that they're, not playing anymore. So it's been so fun to see that. But yeah, just incredible tennis today. Not surprised from these two with the incredible matches that we've seen in the past. The first set was awesome from Alcaraz. Sinner started off actually really hot. He was the one that took the first break. He was returning really well, super aggressively. He got the break back. Then, Alcaraz started kind of mixing up his serves, started to take some chances, got the break. Sinner's serve actually let him down at 5-4. And Alcaraz played a pretty stellar game, I would say, and especially set point to take the first set. And then Sinner, quick early break, trying to put that first set in the rearview mirror. He kind of got tight trying to consolidate it, but finally got his first serve to cooperate. And it was interesting, both guys were getting way more negative than we normally see from them. It was hot out today. There's a lot of pressure on both. There's a lot of angst. Multiple different factors going into this final aside from just the tennis. There's so much expectation on both of these guys to bring such a high level. And, they're pushing themselves to become better and better every day. And, we were seeing that angst a little bit, I would say, in the final. Showcase of movement from Sinner was pretty spectacular in the second set. Serving for it at 5-4, he came up with some kind of hot shots to close it out. Finally seemed like he got his confidence back in that second set after being kind of emotionally down from losing that first set when he probably should have won it. He started going after the forehand more Sinner in that second set and really kind of started to show that positivity. And I think it's so interesting. So little separates these guys. One blink on one of their service games and the set could be over. So they have to be so focused every single point on their serve and make sure that they don't, slip up at all. And, third set was just solid from Sinner, stepped up his serve big time. He wasn't really hitting his spots in the first two sets on his serve, and then finally kind of found his rhythm in the third. And then kind of just great returning from Sinner to get the break at 1-1 in the fourth. I think, we talk about Novak Djokovic going into lockdown mode. This was Sinner going into lockdown mode in that first set. He left nothing to chance after, like you mentioned, letting that French Open final slip away. And it's interesting, we don't really see Alcaraz lose confidence often, but in the fourth set when he was down 3-1, it looked like he almost didn't believe he could come back and win with how well Sinner was playing. He almost wasn't sure what to do, and we really never see that from Alcaraz. So just a testament to Sinner's game and how well he was playing today. And yeah, Sinner had a great kind of confident service game to close it out 5-4. Not easy to do, especially after losing that French Open final and kind of having that in the back of your mind. So much emotionally, and physically was going into this for him, and he stayed super level-headed and calm. Really showed why he's #1 in the world. So it was a great, showing from Sinner and Alcaraz today.
Most definitely. Incredible insight there, CC, from this match. What do you think this win does for Jannik Sinner's legacy?
Yeah, I mean, he's never won a Grand Slam outside of a hard court. So I think this is, just even, cementing his legacy as an all-surface player even more so. He's #1 in the world right now. I think it even cements him further. He looked dominant out there today. He dominated off the ground against Alcaraz, especially in that fourth set. Alcaraz could not keep up off the baseline rallies. Sinner was, staying close to the baseline, taking the balls early, was pushing Alcaraz back, was forcing Alcaraz to shank that forehand. So I would say overall cementing his legacy as an all-surface player. We knew he was going to get there. It was just a matter of when, and we saw that today for sure.
Can you put your finger at all, CC, on anything about why you think Carlos Alcaraz was not able to get the job done today, and how much did an uncharacteristically bad serving day really contribute to his loss?
Yeah, I think a bad serving day did contribute a little bit. I would say it was more so on Sinner's racket. You know, in the French Open final, when Alcaraz was down 2 sets to love, we kind of saw him go into lockdown mode. He really cut out the unforced errors. And we saw that from Sinner today. So I would say it was more so Sinner showing up and playing very, you know, level-headed, calm, precise tennis, especially, you know, going into that fourth set. I don't think there was much Alcaraz could do. You know, he was getting dominated off the ground. And I think Alcaraz's game relies so much on confidence. And when he's not winning those long baseline rallies, you know, his confidence can really plummet. And you know, that's not what you want to see when you're an Alcaraz fan. His game really rides on those, you know, confident kind of flashy points that he can bring out. And Sinner did not let that happen today.
CC Bellis, great insight as always, joining us live here on CBS Sports HQ, where Jannik Sinner has won his very first championship at the All England Club. Great to see you, CC. Thanks so much.